So we'll proceed to the next presentation. We'll have the chance to hear IEEE Open Science from Mrs. Eva Veloso, which is IEEE Area Manager for Southern Europe.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me okay? Yes, okay. Thank you for having us here today. I'd like to start by saying also thank you for being customers for many, many years. It's greatly appreciated to have you as our partners. So my name is Eva Veloso, or Eva Veloso, and I am the International Area Manager for IEEE, and I cover most of Southern Europe and all of the Latin American countries. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about IEEE's open science programs, and of course if you have any other questions afterwards, I will be here at the stand. So IEEE was founded in 1884, so 135 years later we embody the vision of our founders, our founding fathers, include people like Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, Guillermo Marconi, etc. So we envision, we support the vision of our founding fathers, and we apply them to the challenges of today and tomorrow. IEEE is really the place where the next generation technology and breakthroughs are born. And of course, this is the result of innovative work of IEEE members that we have all over the world, authors, researchers, and volunteers. Today, IEEE, if you take a look at our organization, we are a small organization, but we do have almost 2,000 conferences that we sponsor in over 103 countries. So these conferences is where the latest innovation is first presented usually. So we have about just under 2,000, and via HeLink, your institutions have access to all the papers from these conferences via the current subscription that you have. And again, it's in all different countries, all different technical areas, engineering, technology, telecommunication, artificial intelligence, all the technical areas. We have over 500,000 conference attendees at these, and then when you look at the IEEE Explore, which is our platform where all the content is, we have about 148 million downloads of Explore every year. So considering that we are one of the smaller publishers, we do get a lot of usage of our content, and of course that is worldwide. Across the world, we have 422,000 members. Here you can see the countries and where we have the most members. And within that, we have 123,000 student members. Now, why is that important? Well, these student members are already engaging with IEEE in the technical community, in the engineering community, and they are, of course, going to be the future leaders of tomorrow in technology, engineering, and hopefully we'll figure out a way to get us all off of our phones every day. I can't apologize for that being the IEEE, but anyway. And here you can see the countries in where we have the most student members. I think most of you know IEEE content is of the highest quality. Our content does make an impact. Like most publishers, our titles are highly cited in numerous areas. Our titles are mostly cited in electrical engineering. We have the top 20 journals. We have the top 18 of the in telecommunications, 3 of the top 5 in artificial intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. And this is something that is consistent year over year. Now, what's interesting here is that not only are we having the greatest impact in existing technology areas such as electrical engineering, but in the emerging technology areas like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, robotics, et cetera, et cetera. All the scary things that technology is doing now, right? Something that you might not know is IEEE content is the most cited content when it comes to patents. So I'm talking about patents from the world's largest technical organizations, the Googles, the Samsungs, Intel, Boeing, etc. So our content is not only used to help advance technology on a daily basis, our authors, our researchers also publish with us, publish their research findings, and then when they go to apply for patents, they cite IEEE content the most. So it's just another high indicator of, or important indicator of the quality of the content, and I think most of you already know that, but just in case there's some new people. So in terms of the open access, open science programs, I'm going to start a little quickly with the actual IEEE open access program. Our main goal here is to support our authors and our researchers. So we want to provide a single source for authors to publish either in traditional journals or in open access titles, but of course irrelevant of what mandates, funding, or what countries they might be in. So IEEE is continuing to focus on growing those traditional journals. We have about 200 currently, and we have a key focus on adding more open access titles as we move forward. Again, to support the researchers and authors that need to publish in either or. And actually, when we take a look at some of the research from studies that have been done of European researchers, those studies are indicating that the researchers are going to continue to obviously publish in traditional journals and also open access. So IEEE, we think, is on the right path to help support these authors and researchers across the world. So in terms of open access publishing, there are three options that authors can choose from. They can publish their articles in hybrid journals. We have over 100 of these. And they span all areas of technology, every single technology field. We have over 100, and these are some of the most highly cited journals in engineering technology. We also have a multidisciplinary open access journal. It's totally open access. It's called IEEE Access. And this journal was launched in 2013, so it's a newer journal. But it already has a high impact factor, and we have a great number of submissions to this title every year. And just to know, it's also one of our journals that has a rapid publishing process. Then we also have fully open access topical journals, which focus on certain areas of technology. In total, right now, we have 6 titles that are available that are totally open access, plus new journals coming soon in 2020. So as our open access program continues to evolve, we are committed to continue to bring titles that are relevant to our researchers and authors. Here you can see some of the areas that we're focusing on immediately in the next year or two. Computing, telecommunications, automotive. IEEE is having such a great impact in the automotive industry, which is something that you might not necessarily think of, but especially now with autonomous vehicles and Internet of Things, it's very interesting the response that we're having. Nanotechnology, industrial applications, biomedical engineering, and those are just a few of the areas. So I mentioned we have some new titles coming. These are going to be the fully open access titles. You can see them here and what areas they are, and those will be available in 2020. But at the end of this year, we will already be accepting articles for publication in 2020. So you can see all the areas. IEEE is also developing subsections that are dedicated to focusing on particular technology areas, which will also hopefully in the near future add additional, not only open access titles, but traditional titles as well. So just a few things, and of course we'll share the presentation after, so you don't have to read all this, but there's a few factors I want you to keep in mind. All our new open access titles will be fully compliant with funder mandates, including Plan S, for those of you that have an interest in that. All articles that are published under our open access program will have the CC BY license, etc. And of course, just to reassure you, each new title will definitely follow IEEE's established standard of peer review. drawing on experts from technical communities around the world, and of course in their subject matters areas. So I mentioned our titles are going to be compliant with Plan S criteria. Here you can see some of the ones that we are already compliant with, and of course we will be fully compliant shortly. Something that is really interesting that we've just launched, which is a response to our academic customers across the world. And these are customers that have agreements with IEEE for open access. And what we kept hearing is that managing the open access publishing process from an administrator's point of view is terrible. So a lot of our customers said it takes too long, they can't organize, they can't find reports and things like that. So we've just recently introduced a new open access administration system, which we provide to all our customers that have an open access agreement with us. And basically it is an online dashboard that allows administrators to manage the entire process. They can view and approve, deny requests. They can generate transactional reports. That was a really big thing that we kept hearing from our customers. It was difficult to see how much they're spending and who's spending it. So you can do that very easily with this tool. The tool also has an improved ability to recognize eligible authors. I'm sure some of you who work in open access and administering open access funds may eventually get authors that published on their own and didn't even use institutional funds. So this is something that will trigger an author when they go to submit their paper to say, do you want to publish using institutional funds or not? So it helps facilitate that process. Administrators also have the option to manually accept all the requests for publication, or they can do it automatically. We have institutions in the UK that just don't want to bother. They just want it, a request comes in, approve it automatically. So it's up to the administrator, essentially. And of course, there's also improved notifications for the administrator once an article has been accepted by IEEE for publication. This is a new tool. We've just launched it about 2 months ago, so it's really great for those that have open access collaboration with IEEE. So I talked a little bit about IEEE, our open access program, and now I'm going to spend a little bit of time on some of the open science initiatives that we have going on. Our main goal, obviously, is to help drive innovation. That is our primary goal, but also in helping expedite the research, getting it out to end users, and obviously for those that are actually in research, the reproducibility of the research. So what we've done is we are launching, or have recently launched, 3 programs that help facilitate this. The first one, I'm not sure if you can see with the color there, but it's called Code Ocean. So this allows authors to publish code or algorithms associated with research articles in a computable environment, and it's linked to IEEE Explored. So authors can upload code free of charge, and users can access the code without a subscription. And of course, for all those technical people, this is something that's really cool and valuable for them. More recently, IEEE has introduced IEEE Dataport, which enables authors to publish large data sets associated with their research. So for now, IEEE is not charging for this until the end of this year, but it seems that in 2020 there will start to be some charges for that. I don't know what they are, but right now it's available at no cost. And then the last item that we've just started to introduce is something called Text Archive. I know the spelling there is a little, it took me a minute to figure out what it was, and somebody had to tell me. Anyway, IEEE is launching, it's a preprint server for engineering and technology research. It's a service that allows authors to post early and fully open versions of their articles prior to peer review and prior to it being published. So the early articles, right? So these 3 items, aside from our open access program, these 3 items are really designed to help facilitate the research process and the communication of research and publications earlier and with broader reach. So the next few slides are just a little bit more information on what they each are. So Code Ocean is an online code reproducibility, platform that integrates with any scholarly platform. Authors, again, can publish the code, data, and a computing environment. There's a widget that will appear on the article page. Users can use this to build upon other research, other users' published findings. And again, it's in an environment that helps facilitate this kind of work and research. IEEE Dataport, this is a web-based cloud services platform, and it supports the data-related needs of the global technical community. It stores data sets up to 2 terabyte each and enable deposits of multiple data files, indefinitely data storage. The data sets can be linked to IEEE Explore. There's a DOI associated. Citations are formulated and provided in multiple formats. And it can be integrated with ORCID ID. Users can use this to support data challenges and can store links related to documentation, scripts, visualizations, and related documents. And then for those that are interested, it's fully integrated with Amazon Web Services to help even facilitate data analytics even more. So these are just some examples of some of the recently used data sets that we have on IEEE Dataport, and unless you're a techie, you might not know what these are, but ArcFlash is one of them, and that's that first one in the orange. And then one of the most popular ones is this last one, and it has to do with sensors. So that's one of our more popular data sets. So all standard data sets up to 2 terabyte can be deposited into Dataport at no cost. And here are some coupons or promo codes that we are valid till the end of the year if anyone really has interest to do that, you know, in the next 2 months. All right, so Text Archive. So it's an open, moderated preprint server for unpublished research in electrical engineering, computer science, and all our related technology fields. Here you can see some of the ones. Of course, there's many others. And this allows authors to quickly disseminate their work to a very wide audience and gain community feedback on draft versions of their research. So it's really integrated and allows authors to get actual real-time information on projects that they're working on, or feedback or input. So that was all my slides. So I've talked to you a little bit about our open access programs and of course our open science initiatives that we're working on, and most of them have launched in the past few months. And of course we will continue to do what we can to help facilitate the innovation process, and of course get the research output out there to our end users as best as possible. So again, thank you. If there's any questions, I'll take them now. All right.
Thank you, Eva.
You're welcome. Just leave it.
Are there any questions for Eva's presentation? Okay. Mrs. Leah.
I'll try to answer your question. These are all new.
Okay, we can, if you want, we can discuss later, but yeah. I wanted to ask for the IEEE Dataport that you mentioned. So this is a service for individuals, not for institutions or for...
I believe now it is institutional level.
Okay, it's institutional level. And I didn't see anything on this for submitting, for uploading data to this service for licensing. I mean, yeah.
Yes, I don't know what the process is because, okay, like I said, it's newer to us. Actually, this is my first time presenting on it, okay. So I don't have all the answers, okay, but I can find out because I'm sure there's something that they have to sign
of
online.
Course, yeah.
I just don't know what it is, to be honest, right now.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.